Okay, so today's concept, what I wanted to discuss with you, it's a RESTful service. Okay, so as you know, OSB supports both SOAP web service, RESTful service, and different protocols directly. Okay, so here I wanted to show you how the RESTful service will work. Okay, normally RESTful service have two methods like get method and post method, and put and delete. Two more methods are there, but we never use those two methods. So we normally use two methods, get method and the post method. I hope you know the difference between the get method and the post method, right? Get method, if you want to call, you can directly call from the browser, and in the URL itself you will provide your input parameters. But for the post method, you will write it on uh, output stream of a request object. It's a different mechanism. So normally, if you are preferring a post method, then a SOAP web service is better than HTTP post. Okay. So here now, today I wanted to show you how the RESTful service can be implemented in OSB, and how the inputs can be extracted from the input, and how we can proceed. Okay. Right. And in today's example, I wanted to show you a step by step. So first, I wanted to show you how the RESTful service will work. I will receive some simple input, and I'll return some simple output. After that, here I wanted to introduce how we can call a uh, Java class inside our OSB, and still if we have time, then I wanted to introduce the error handling also. Okay, error handling also is very simple one, but anyway I will show you today if we have time. Okay, these three concepts I wanted to show you today. Okay, right. Okay, meanwhile let's see this class. Okay, so here I have created one class called HTML generated. Okay, so here what I'm doing, from the RESTful service input parameter, I'm going to receive parameter A and B, and I will pass that A and B to the Java class, and in the Java class I'm directly preparing one HTML string along with some result. Okay, so this result, how it looks like, it will be looks like this. Okay, if I give uh, 20 and 10 as a parameter, then it will display like 20 plus 10 equals to 30, 20 minus 10, some arithmetic operations it will do, and it will display the message. So here our main intention is how to call a Java class inside the OSB. Okay, and from the RESTful service, you can return an XML message or a HTML message or a text message, whatever you want, you can return. That one also you can configure. Okay, right now the server started. So create a new OSB project, RESTful service. Okay, as usual, we need to create a folder structure. As of now, I want only the proxy service and a new proxy service. I'm just naming it as REST service. And here, for RESTful service, you can choose it as any XML service, not an issue. Okay, and go to the message flow. Here I do not have any service to invoke, so I can directly add the pipeline pair node, and inside pipeline pair I'm adding one stage, and inside the stage I'm simply using one assign. Through this assign, I wanted to get the parameter name. So my first example, what I want, in the URL I will give some name equals to some couple. It should return the response like hi couple, welcome to OSB. This is the message I wanted to display back. Okay, right. So here I wanted to read this parameter, right? Name parameter I have to read. For that, you can directly go to the inbound variable, inbound transport request HTTP query parameters some value, and you may have multiple parameters, so that here the parameter I am just giving one more condition as name attribute should be name. Okay, right, you understood this X path, right? From my inbound variable, inside a transport we have a request, inside the request query parameters, and inside parameters you can get multiple parameters based on your parameter name as an attribute. So I'm just reading the value based on an attribute condition. Okay, this one I'm just assigning to string, and in a response pipeline insert processing replace X path is always dot for us, then we replace the body, replace node content. So here some response, str, I'm returning some string here back. Okay, so this one you can hard code any element, and inside your hard coded string, if you want to fetch the value of any variable, you need to keep it in curly brace. And as you know, if you wanted to access any variable, you need to give a dollar symbol. Okay, str. Okay, this is str, and this one str. Okay, fine then. So first we will deploy the service and we will see how it is working. Okay, run on service. Okay, so here there are two ways to test your proxy service. Either from this transport tab you can test it. In the transport tab, here you can find query parameters. See here you can provide your input, or else normally we will test RESTful service from the browser only. So copy the URL, go to the browser, localhost port number and the proxy service URI, and the name equals to couple. It did not return any value, right? Okay, we will see why it's not returned any value. Name, okay, the response also. Okay, the one thing after this I wanted to place one log, so that this str variable it haven't received any value inside that. What could be that reason? Name only I gave. Okay, So here name also an attribute, right? I should give @. Okay. Now I am able to read the parameter value, right? So here, once you are able to read the parameter value, then as per this, I wanted to hardcode some string like replace. Here you can hardcode the string direct like hi Kapil, welcome to some OSB. Okay. Right. So likewise, a RESTful service will work. It can able to read the values from the parameter, and it will prepare some response back for you. Now what I wanted to do, as it is a RESTful service, as I can able to run it from the browser, instead of returning the XML response, I wanted to return a HTML response. Now we'll see how we can return the HTML response. So if you wanted to return any HTML response before returning the service, um, here yes, I can use the assign. No, assign will not work, I think. Choose one replace. Inside the replace, inside the XPath, again I am modifying my inbound variable response header. In the response header you can find some content type. This content type I wanted to change. Okay, if you are a JSP developer, you can understand what is this content type. So like web server supports many different types of contents. You can specify what kind of content type you are going to return. Okay, so here variable is inbound variable, and replace node content expression. I wanted to return um, some text or HTML or XML or HTML. Based on our requirement we will modify, and as I am returning it as a HTML, you can directly prepare your HTML string here. HTML body some h1. Right, a simple HTML string I have written. Now we will see how it is returning the response back. See, now it returns the content as an HTML instead of an XML. So likewise, in proxy service, For RESTful services, you can modify the content type and whatever you want you can do, like Java web service or any other RESTful services, whatever you want you can do here. So here now I'm able to read an input parameter, and also I'm able to return a HTML message. Now I wanted to read two parameters like A and B, and I wanted to calculate some tabular form, and this time I don't want to directly calculate inside the OSB. This time I wanted to call a Java service, I mean a Java class. From the Java class, it has to return some result. That result I wanted to display back. Okay, so for that, here I have already created one class.
Ramnagar, 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay, I think ఇక్కడ RESTful web service మనం ఎక్కడ క్రియేట్ చేసాం లాగా లైక్ ప్రాక్సీ సర్వీస్ క్రియేట్ చేసాం. ప్రాక్సీలో విజువల్ బేస్ కాకుండా సమ్ ఇది XML కంటెంట్
ఎనీ XML తీసుకోవచ్చు ఆర్ ఎనీ మెసేజ్ తీసుకోవచ్చు.
ఓకే ఎనీ XML తీసుకున్నాం. అంతేనా, ఇంకేమీ ఉండదా?
అంతేం లేదు, మనం ఇక్కడ రాసుకునే లాజిక్ ని బట్టి డిపెండ్ అయ్యి ఉంటుంది. ఇన్పుట్ మాత్రం మనం ఇన్బౌండ్ నుంచి తీసుకుంటున్నాం, నాట్ ఫ్రమ్ ద బాడీ వేరియబుల్. నార్మల్ ఇన్పుట్ మనం బాడీ వేరియబుల్ తీసుకుంటాం, బట్ ఇక్కడ ఇన్పుట్ పారామీటర్ నుంచి తీసుకుంటున్నాం.
ఓకే, అంటే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ సోప్ వెబ్ సర్వీస్ కూడా విజువల్ తీసుకున్నాం, బట్ రెస్ట్ఫుల్ కి అలా విజువల్ సంథింగ్ అలాంటి ఏం అవసరం లేదా?
రెస్ట్ఫుల్ కి అవే ఉండవు, దాని పేరే రెస్ట్ఫుల్ ఫ్రీ సర్వీస్ అది.
ఓకే,
రెస్ట్ఫుల్ కి విజిట్ ఏ ఉండవు, ఓన్లీ యూఆర్ఎల్ ఉంటుంది అంతే.
అంటే దానికి స్ట్రక్చర్ సంథింగ్ అలాంటి ఏం ఉండవు?
ఏం ఉండవు రెస్ట్ఫుల్ కి.
ఓకే ఓకే, అంటే ఫస్ట్ టైం నాకు ఎప్పుడు వెళ్ళలేదు రెస్ట్ఫుల్ అంటే.
అవునా, ఓకే. రెస్ట్ఫుల్ అలాంటివి ఏమి ఉండవు. మీకు ఎన్ని పారామీటర్స్ కావాలంటే అన్ని పారామీటర్స్ మీ కోడ్లో రాసుకుంటారు. మీరు దాన్ని ఇన్వోక్ చేసేటప్పుడు వాళ్ళకి మీరు ఒక డాక్యుమెంట్ ఇస్తే కానీ వాళ్ళు దాన్ని రన్ చేయలేరు. సోప్కి అయితే మనకు ఒక విజిటల్ ఉంటుంది, అది ఇస్తే సరిపోతుంది. బట్ రెస్ట్ఫుల్ సర్వీస్కి అలా కాదు. మీరు ఇచ్చిన డాక్యుమెంట్లో ఈ పారామీటర్ దేనికి యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాను, ఈ పారామీటర్ దేనికి యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాను, ఇది ఇలాగే వాడాలని చెప్పి మీరు ఇవ్వాలి. యూజర్ మాన్యువల్ ఇవ్వాల్సిందే.
ఓకే, మనం కస్టమర్ డిఫైన్డ్ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాం కాబట్టి.
అవును, ఇప్పుడు ఏ పారామీటర్ వాడతామో తెలియదు. సో యూజర్స్ ఏం తెలుస్తుంది ఇదేం పారామీటర్ వాడాడు అన్నది. సో మస్ట్ షుడ్గా మనం ఇవ్వాల్సిందే. నార్మల్గా ఈ రెస్ట్ఫుల్ సర్వీసెస్ అన్నిటినీ వెబ్ డెవలపర్స్ ఎక్కువ వాడుతుంటారు. జేఎస్పి పేజీలోని, పిహెచ్పి పేజెస్లోని అక్కడ వాడుకుంటారు వాళ్ళు. వాళ్ళకి బాగా యూస్ఫుల్గా ఉంటుంది. వాళ్ళకి ఎక్స్ఎంఎల్ కన్నా పారామీటర్ పంపించడం, పారామీటర్ రీడ్ చేయడం ఈజీ.
Okay, continue. Okay,
then. So now here I have created a small Java class like HTML generator, inside which get HTML str one function I have created. See here, it should be public static. So I think you know the meaning of static, right? The moment server loads, it will load the class also. Normally, if it is a non-static, whenever you create an object, then it will load it into the memory. For the static, you need not to create an object, it will automatically load into the memory so that you can directly call that function. In OSB, it should be public static. So when you restart your server, when your project loads into the memory, this class instance also will load into the memory, so that without any creating object, we can call this function. Okay. After that, here I'm receiving some A and B. After that, I prepared some HTML string, like it will display like this. Okay. This is what my intention, this is what I wanted to return back. So for that, first of all, I need a jar file of this class. So prepare a jar file, and the jar file deployed into this location. Okay, then copy this jar file and you can directly go to the Eclipse, and here I'm creating one folder like resources. Inside the resource I wanted to paste it here, so I got the jar file here. Now I wanted to call this Java class from the RESTful service, and whatever the HTML content it is returning, I wanted to display that. Okay, right. So here in assign, I am reading the parameter name, right? Instead of that, I wanted to read the parameter j. Oh, sorry, I should not change this one. This is j. This one I wanted to read, and I'm placing it into param j, and use one more assign. Say URI I can use. This time instead of A, use the B. I'm going to receive the parameters are A and B. Parameter B. Okay. So I have received parameter A and B. Now I wanted to call Java class. So here log we can remove for now and set into message processing Java callout. Through this Java callout action, we can access other Java external Java classes. So Java callout, browse your class. It is inside RESTful service resources. This is my jar file. Okay. Then it will display all the available static methods. So here I wanted to call this get HTML string. So select this, and here the parameters are both int and int. Okay. Now, so go to the, see it is expecting two parameters. What happened? Loop exception. Exit the workbench. No, I don't want. I did not understand the issue. Okay, anyway, leave it. So as it is expecting integer parameter, you can go to xquery functions, some constructors. Here we have an int function, it will convert it into int. So I wanted to convert my param a, first parameter. Just copy this, and the second parameter param b, and it is going to return some string back, that is HTML str. Copy this HTML str, and when you are returning the element some content here, you can remove everything and put $HTML str, because it is preparing the whole string and it giving you the result back. Okay, Now again run the service. This time parameters should be a equals to some 30. Ampersand means if you want to give one more parameter, you have to give like this, some b equals to 10. See, I got this table. First operand 1 is 30, operator is plus, operand 2 is 10, and the excuse me, and the result is 40, and 30 minus 10 is 20. Some small example how we can return a HTML. Okay, right. Likewise, we can call a Java class also. First, you can prepare one jar file and place it into your project location, and from the through Java callout, we can browse your jar file and available class, available method, then provide input and output. Okay, right. Now, as we have still more time, I will introduce one more concept now. That is error handling. Unlike in server, in OSB we do not have much error handling facilities. Okay, in server we have try, I mean scope and catch, and also we have fault framework. Likewise, we have some different methods to handle the errors. But here in OSB, it's very simple one. We have only one error handler stage. Wherever you want, you can configure that. It will go to that stage. And OSB has one more variable called fault variable. If you remember in our introduction class, I told you this is also predefined variable in OSB. So that fault variable will be assigned. If you wanted to keep track the error messages, you can use the fault variable to keep track the messages. So now what I wanted to show you, instead of A and B, if I give C, what will happen? It's throwing some error like host is not working. So there is no response from there. In this situation, I wanted to give some response if the user gives any invalid input. So for that, what I did now, where is that? Okay, right. So for that, here we have the error handler stage. You can drag and drop that error handler stage at your stage level, at your pipeline pair level, at your service level. So I wanted to drop it at service level so that wherever error happened, it will go to this error handler stage. It will go automatically. And inside this error handler stage, add one stage, and inside which I wanted to return some message like x path in variable is body, replace node content, expression is here. I will create one HTML code. Okay, likewise I wanted to give some message if it fails. Okay, done. Now we will see how it is working. See, if I give the B, I'm receiving the proper response. If I give the C, again it is not throwing anything. Okay, so we are receiving some HTTP 500 error. Now what we can do here, along with this, we have one more action called inside a flow control. We have a reply action. So here I wanted to reply the response either success or a failure. So if you use with success, HTTP codes, it will return 200 message. Sometimes in web developers or any other development, they will consider the HTTP code. If it is success code like 200, then they will proceed. Otherwise, they will not proceed. So here I just want to return with the success. That's it. Whenever I have received an error in a error handler stage, I'm just modifying my body and I'm replying back. Now we'll see what will happen now. See, now I got a proper message. So here what is happening, if you did not use this reply, your body variable will not be written anything, because it's not a SOAP web service. If it is a SOAP web service, then the default variable will be automatically overwritten into the body variable. So whatever the content available in fault variable, it will be written back to the SOAP web service. But it is, as it is a RESTful web service, it is not writing anything. So that what we are doing, you have to prepare your response what you are expecting if it is errored out. Like I am just returning it as mandatory parameters or a comma b. So that is what it is displaying, mandatory parameters or a comma b. So here after this message, user can understand something, so he will give the parameter as b. Okay, right. Along with this, I wanted to show you one more thing now. If it is errored, how do you know? How the support guys knows it? If it is a server web service, instance will be failed. So from the failed instances, you can identify. But here, uh, in OSB, as it is a RESTful service, how do you know how you can identify? Right. So for that, um, here what I did now, I am receiving whenever my proxy service receives a request, I am just modifying the content type, response content type as text or HTML. So whatever you send, it will accept it. After that, I am reading parameter A into param A and parameter B into param B. After that, I am simply calling the Java callout. This Java is receiving input A and B, and it will return you some XML, HTML response. That HTML response I am returning back. This is what my initial implementation. After that, if it fails, I wanted to give some response back. For that, you need to add one error handler stage inside that error handler stage. Whatever the uh, however you want to handle the errors, you can handle it here. So here in a replace, I'm just hard coding some string like mandatory parameters or a comma b, and even though you write that, it will not return any message because it's already errored out. For that, you need to forcefully send it as a success or failure response back. We have an action called reply. Through this, Either you can choose which success, which failure. If you choose which success, it will send 200 error code. Okay, otherwise some 500 error code it will return. So here likewise it will work. If you give the proper input, it will give you some response data. Otherwise it will give the error messages mandatory parameters like a comma b. Okay, right, then that's all for today.
ఓకే క్వశ్చన్ అండి. సో ఏకి ఒక అసైన్ తీసుకున్నారు, బీకి మ్యాపింగ్ లో ఇంకో అసైన్ తీసుకున్నారు. అంటే ఒక్కొక్క ఫీల్డ్ మ్యాపింగ్ కి ఒక్కొక్క అసైన్ తీసుకోవాలా?
ఐదర్ అలాగే తీసుకోవచ్చు, లేదంటే మీరు ఒక ఎక్స్క్వైరీ రాసేసుకొని అందులో మల్టిపుల్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ తీసుకొని మళ్ళీ ఇంకొక ఎక్స్ఎంఎల్ లో పెట్టుకుని అలా చేసుకోవాలి. యాక్చువల్లీ ఇక్కడ నా రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ఏంటంటే నేను జావా కాల్అవుట్ కాల్ చేయాలి. జావా కాల్అవుట్ 2 వేరియబుల్స్ కావాల్సిందే. సో నేను ఎలా చేసినా సరే మళ్ళీ పట్టుకొచ్చి సపరేట్ ఒక వేరియబుల్ అయ్యే ఒక వేరియబుల్ బి పెట్టాల్సిందే. ఆర్ ఎల్స్ ఒక కంప్లీట్ ఎక్స్ఎంఎల్ కింద ప్రిపేర్ చేసుకుని ఎక్స్క్వైరీ రాసుకుని ఇక్కడ ఒక ఎక్స్ట్రా తెచ్చుకుంటాం మళ్ళీ. ఇది యాజ్ పర్ అవర్ రిక్వైర్మెంట్. ఇక్కడ నాకున్న 2 పారామీటర్స్ కానీ డైరెక్ట్గా పెట్టుకున్నాను. ఒక 40 పారామీటర్స్ ఉన్నాయి అనుకోండి, నేను ఆల్టర్నేట్ ఆలోచించాల్సిందే.
ఇంకోటి సోర్స్ కోడ్ ఉండదా దీనికి?
ఓఎస్బీ సోర్స్ కోడ్ ఉండదు, అదేగా అందుకే దీన్ని కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ బేస్డ్ సర్వీస్ అనేది.
ఓకే ఓకే,
ఏదైనా మన కంటికి కనిపించిందే కోడ్ అంతే ఇక్కడ.
ఓకే అండి.
ఓకే Ravi, any doubts? No. Okay then.
Tomorrow I will check one type of services.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you and bye.
Okay, bye.